Hi there, this is Grill Chess channel and this is our new video. But this video will not be really educational, but rather there is a topic to discuss. I was scrolling down the Facebook and I saw the post of GM Andrey Sumets from Ukraine who described the next situation as you can see on your screen. What's the topic? What the point? The point is that he was playing Title Tuesday in the end of April and he got paired with Hikaru Nakamura and managed to beat him. In the next game, he played against Leinier Dominguez, also very strong US GM, and he had kind of better position, slightly better position, but then in the end, he lost, ran out of time, but position wasn't great at some moment. So what we will try to find out is, was there any really ground for kicking out the GM from the tournament, or chesscom just going mad a little bit. And yeah, worth mentioning that he was just kicked out. There was no ban, nothing like that. But still, it's kind of unpleasant, and I understand this concern. So right now, let's go straight to the games. And this is the game itself. It was the second round of the title Tuesday with white pieces. I mean, playing Andrey, and Hikaru plays black. Hikaru starts with a b6 move, which is not a great move because black doesn't fight for the center, and it would be really hard to continue if white managed to seize all the room over here. And compared to g6, it has, I don't know, a lot of inconvenience in my opinion. And white instantly, here in my words, playing e4, trying to seize the space in the center. Bishop b7 was played. In the game, white plays knight c3, totally normal move that everybody would probably make, but slightly better is bishop d3. Why bishop d3 is better? The idea is that if later on black will try to attack the pawn on e4, we can simply play queen e2 and there will be no pin after bishop b4 as it will happen soon in the game. And we also can reinforce the center by playing c3, which also would be great. So in the game, knight c3 was played, e6, bishop d3, bishop goes to b4. Right now there is a pin trying to pressure the king over there. Also later on, black wants to attack the pawn in the middle, and white plays the best move, which was knight e2. The point of knight e2 is that we want to reinforce our knight and we don't want to spoil our pawn structure. Let's say after knight f3 there would be knight f6, and we cannot really play some move like a3 because our pawn will fall immediately. Playing queen e2 also leads to some inconveniences such as d5, let's say. So knight e2 was played in the game. Black answers with d5, and right now the first inaccuracy from white, which was ed. ED is not the bad move itself, just if I was significantly better. But many people would be scared as well to play it, especially it's a blitz game, because c5 is a counter push. And right now our bishop is definitely not happy about all this situation going on, because after that c4 is coming, and as you can see our bishop kind of runs out of moves. And if let's say play a3, he would really swear a lot, because I mean he was trapped, everybody betrayed him, he's alone, surrounded. But right here there was like knight c3 move, which without knowing the theory, just impossible to find, in my opinion, especially in the blitz game. So ed, totally human looking move, doesn't look like cheating at any moment. Queen d5, right now Hikaru pressures the pawn on g2, and of course we don't want a castle because of that, but white plays knight f4. Very standard move, very logical one. Queen is being attacked, and you might wonder, okay, pawn is hanging, what is going on? I mean, black can take the pawn, but of course then we have a bishop b5 check, and after this, king is not safe, and queen is fallen. This is a typical uh, pattern that pawn on d4 can be poisoned because of discovered check. So queen is going back to d7, white continued with the castle, and right now black has some issues with the king stuck in the center. Maybe it was better to develop like this as computer recommends. And again, Nakamura plays the most obvious move, which is knight f6. This is a little bit, I mean, unprecise, but in general, I mean, very logical move. What white can do. Right now, of course, when the king is in the center, logical move seems like d5. But to play d5, you really need to be a tough guy, because we give up a pawn, we need to calculate some knight d5 complications, ed is also possible. Yeah, then we have some check, knight h5 idea coming, and this looks all very dangerous, but white also plays human-looking move, which is a3. Chesscom gives it like a bad sign, that is, it is a mistake. In fact, it's totally fine, it just allows black to take right here, play 96, and after castle on, let's say, black will have an opportunity to attack on the king side because it's opposite castle king situation, and white's pawn structure is not that favorable because if the pawn was on b2, we could really try to push our pawns in an easier way. So this was better, but Hikaru also like a good player decides, I mean, I have a bishop pair, why on earth would I give up it? But white right now plays rook e1. Again, as we can see, white is not playing extremely precise. White is just playing development moves, improving moves, creating a threat of d5. And even though computer says that knight h5 would be slightly better, I mean, it's totally understandable, totally reasonable, and it was played. Black instantly castles lon, which also for some reason indicated as a mistake, but the point is that right now white can develop a quick attack. Knight h5, chesscom giving it a great sign, but again, move is extremely logical. Our knight will trade the defender of the black skin, and after it went away, our queen will occupy a perfect position right here. Black responds with bishop e7, trying to defend this knight over here, trying to support him. Again, like engine found some genius move knight e8, but who would do that? Knight h5 also is the move, but then after queen h5 we clearly have an attack and you don't want to be mated pretty soon. So bishop e7 was played, white is playing bishop f4, again a bad sign, again no sign of cheating so far, or any suspicious or anything like that. Probably better was to continue attacking with like some or bishop g5, or a computer gives, as I remember, some crazy line with d5, trying to find some, I don't know, beast activity, which I don't know, very hard to come up with. But again, white is playing extremely logical, developing the last piece that hasn't been developed yet. Bishop g5 also deserves attention, continuing everything like attacking this pawn and stuff, and this was maybe a little bit better, at least from the human point of view. Bishop f4, Hikaru continues his development, probably was better to play g6 because this knight really annoying, and he's like hanging like some gun that can shoot at any moment. We don't want to really wait, we want to take our fate in our own hands. And right now, like, yeah, there are some holes around the king, but it's not scary as long as we have this dark square bishop. But in the game, knight c6 was played. What white did, white took the most reasonable move. Right now, our pawn attacked 3 times, so what's logical to do? Of course, to play d5. And even though it's a great sign, the move is logical itself. And as we remember, if we, let's say, take and take after knight d5, still our knight is not lost, he is kind of invincible, because then we have the same trick, the same discovered attack, which is very irritating for Hikaru, I guess. That's the reason why he played knight d4. White plays knight d4, trying to attack the bishop, then continue with an attacking and trying to deliver the mate. Bishop e7 was played, de. Right now position already kind of unpleasant, because knight e6 we cannot really play because of the same idea, and that's, I'm pretty sure, what Nakamura was afraid of. So he decided to take with the pawn, and again, why all the signs are still on the board? Just to show that white is not playing precise according to the chesscom built-in engine, according to like normal engines. White is just playing the normal moves. After bishop e5 we want to play queen g4 in order to attack g7, and the game went on. Knight goes to f5, Hikaru tries to defend g7, white plays the most obvious move, queen g4, and right now already, like, next move gonna be rook d1, with again many discovered attacks, because the queen will stand here, not very great. In the game c5 was played, again not the greatest option. And after rook d1, rook d8, bishop c4, all the moves are extremely logical. Black decided to dodge queen c6, white takes the rook, and after rook d8 you can stop the video for a moment and find a way how white can win the game in one move. And I'm pretty sure you are capable of doing it, as well as Ukrainian GM did. He played queen f5, winning a piece because there is a pin. So far, nothing outstanding. White made some inaccuracies. White played totally fine. I mean, the most logical moves were played, nothing suspicious, and Hikaru being brought down. Of course, bishop d8 could held the position a little bit longer, but still, the pressure is too high. So, is it possible to say that there is something suspicious? Not even approximately. Just, yeah. I mean, maybe it's unpleasant. I mean, you don't want to accept it, but Hikaru is also human. He can lose, and it's not some candidates tournament where you play classic in a full concentration. It's just blitz. Even though he won many title Tuesdays, right here it didn't go well. The next game Hikaru, by the way, also lost, and the game continued, but it was the mate in the end. So this was the first game. As we could see, I mean, nothing terrible, nothing suspicious, just a strong play, no blow-minded moves. Everything's great. Let's go to the next game. And the next game was played against American GM Dominguez Leinier, who almost qualified for the candidates tournament, as or if I recall correctly. If let's say Firuja didn't play lots of opens in December to boost the PT points of rating to get destroyed on the candidates. But let's see. Let's see what happens right here. First move d4. And again, it's like I forgot to mention the time. You can see it on the screen. But like throughout the whole game, he didn't play like as cheaters do every 3 seconds. So again, no suspicious, not so clear why chesscom got angry. Maybe this game will clarify something. Let's try to see. Right here, Rogozin variation. White plays queen a4 line. Usually people go queen a4 immediately, trying to retain the pressure in the center so that the bishop couldn't go out and was a bit trapped. But probably white has his reasons, so he kind of goes this way. Queen a4, knight c6, bishop g5. Again, all the book moves, as we can see. H6, takes. White gave up a bishop pair, but white want to capitalize on bad placement of the knight and just want to finish development. Bishop goes to e2 to reinforce the knight in case this bishop ever want to go to g4. Bishop e6, black just support the pawn because after the castle this pawn would hang, and after a3 bishop could move back, but as I understand theory says that bishop c3 should be played, even though strategically this move not without sins because it reinforces the structure of white in the center and white will have a majority of pawns. So a6, castle, bishop d7. Hard to understand this move. I mean, of course, it prepares some discovered attacks to queen, but in my opinion, it really looks weird. It was possible to play like b5 somewhere, which would be more logical, trying to occupy an outpost on c4. Many moves that would be more useful than that. White plays queen b3, creating double attack. Black obviously defends the pawn. You might stop the video and ask why queen b7 is not working, but yeah. The answer is, of course, rook b8 and queen has nowhere to go, just panic and dead. Next move, first inaccuracy of white is rook fc1. I mean, this is like the humanest move ever because like we want to play c4. I don't really like it because black can play b5 as they did, or knight a5 looks logical, and this rook could be moved somewhere to the better spot like rook d1 or something, or maybe it was possible to play some, I don't know, a4 to prevent b5. They were moves that better, but rook c1 looking totally normal. b5 was played. White continues knight d2. Why does white do it? Because black is about to approach this c4 square and white want to have more control. Plus somewhere it might prepare some e4, a4 breaks, and this knight is pretty flexible. On f3 he was just chilling, waiting, nothing is happening. Knight a5 was played. Where to move the queen? Queen went to b4. Why? Because black has some weak dark squares, so we want to try to infiltrate it, and this queen b4 move definitely helps us. Knight c4, white takes with the knight. Again, totally reasonable, because if we took with the bishop, our knight is not going anywhere. And position looks totally fine. Maybe white is slightly better. White has some pressure on the pawns. White see an open file and occupy it. Again, the most human move. And right now black messed up. I don't know why bishop f5 was played. It's not a like blunder with two question marks, as chesscom likes to exaggerate. But there were plenty of normal moves, like move the queen somewhere. Maybe even rook b8 was worse, considering giving up the queen for two rooks and relying on queen's activity. But bishop f5 was played. What's bad? After capturing, there is a open file in the full white's possession, and white can do whatever they want. So let's say rook b6, logical attempt to attack double backward pawn. Black plays rook d8, totally fine. Computer shows that rook b8, and in general, active defense is the best defense because you're attacking, and after rook b8 there was a chance to play rook b2. White right now plays bishop f3, again the most obvious move, attacking the pawn. Bishop goes to e6, rook b1, white has more control right now and black cannot fight. But black plays the right move, g5, in order to pressure white. Probably white needed to stop right now g4 maneuver, somehow maybe with g4 himself, then lift up the king, but white plays g3. Because according to the old strategy laws, we want to put our pawns on the color opposite to our bishop, so that our bishop could easily move in between. King g7, king g2. King g2 is already inaccuracy. Again, as you can see, white is not playing in the same time interval. White is playing the most reasonable moves, and right now it doesn't work very well for Ukrainian GM, for Andrey, because after g4, bishop becomes active, and he's a really annoying piece. And somewhere there will be like h4, h5 ideas, maybe h-file mates. I mean, it's too far away from it, but still, it's like in the long term, it's very dangerous. H5, and the next weak move according to the engine, bishop c2. But again, extremely human play. There is this bishop who about to enter e4 to attack our king, to continue pressuring. We want to trade the strong piece. Maybe they were better moves, but again, move seems totally reasonable. And right now, white again trying to play most reasonable moves, improving the king, improving the rooks, controlling open file. Black tries to find the hook and plays h4 to open up h-file. And after rook b8, black already about to fight for the open file. White kind of offering a trade, but black not willing to make any draw. Black doesn't look for any compromises, just going for an attack. And the game went on, and honestly, there is nothing extremely entertaining or interesting. White, again, going for an attack on the king. Again, super logical way. Rook d8, because the idea was that after rook a2 somewhere there was some mating ideas, but rook d8 looking fine. And right now black had real chances to win, but it implies lots of calculations, some king maneuvers as well inside, some checks, some mating ideas with rook h8. But the game went on, like almost every move is some mistake or mischance or something like that, and it's all ended with a time scramble of white, where white just timed out, even though position probably drawish if rook a7. But as we can see, both opponents made mistakes, especially closer to the time trouble when it was around 1 minute each. And yeah, I mean, nothing incredibly weird. And probably I need to make some conclusions. And yeah, why Andrey Sumets was kicked out of the tournament, I have no idea. As we could see, I mean, no suspicious play at all the moves are extremely logical, no outstanding calculations, nothing terrifying. And yeah, probably first thing is that if you ever get paired with Magnus or with Nakamura and you have a winning position, just
Fly, you fools!
because why is it so? As you can see, like chesscom is very protective. There was some hint that like GM won against Hikaru, and I mean maybe it wasn't expected because Hikaru is the beast. His performances, especially in Blitz and Bullet, are outstanding. But still, like normal player can get punished, and that's actually the reason why I don't play Title Tuesdays too often. And just I don't know, you never know what to expect because there comes another problem that chesscom is monopoly, and it's kind of private platform, private company, and they can do whatever they want. And let's say if you're banned or kicked out from the tournament, it hits your prestige. It kind of, I mean, a bit humiliates you because you could do nothing wrong. But like not directly even accusing, but trying to kick out of you the tournament really works against your reputation, and especially against the guys like Andrey because he's a coach, and let's say I'm also coach myself. Uh, it can hit really, really hard if something like that will pop up. So I don't know, like what chesscom should do. Maybe they should work on their algorithm. I understand that, let's say there are some guys like former world champions who went mad and they see cheaters even in their room probably. But yeah, in general, there are some people who just can play strong, and there is nothing about it. And that's the main conclusion. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's say like and subscribe would be appreciated. You will not get banned for it. It's totally legal, no cheating. And stay tuned in for our next videos. Bye.